While climate change is having a serious impact globally, some countries are suffering more than others from intense weather systems. Australia is in the front line when it comes to the effects of global warming. Floods, droughts and bushfires have all taken their toll in recent years. It's not just the physical and financial repercussions. Mental health problems also pose a challenge to those caught up in these natural disasters. Roger Maynard reports from Sydney.
3 years ago, John Grono and Donna Andrews lost their home in a massive bushfire which engulfed much of southeastern Australia. They're still living in temporary accommodation in the New South Wales Southern Highlands as their old house is rebuilt. This is all that remained of their former home, and it's cost them dearly, not only in financial terms, but also at an emotional level. They'll never forget that January day in 2020 when they nearly died in the inferno.
We ended up having to drive through flames to get out, and we were in separate cars, so we were each on our own. Literally, I stopped and thought, am I driving into hell here? It's a wall of flame.
You just are absolutely shocked. On an example, when we left, I reckon the flames were within 40 feet of us, and you don't think, you react, you just get out.
But I always thought
John and Donna still haven't got over that day. There are regular flashbacks as pictures and conversations trigger nightmare memories. Like many bushfire victims, they were traumatised. And although they've suffered no long-term health problems, many Australians continue to experience mental issues from extreme weather events. It's why the Climate Council conducted a survey which found that 50% of those interviewed admitted their mental health had been detrimentally affected by intense weather.
We heard stories of symptoms of anxiety, of depression, even of post-traumatic stress disorder, greater challenges with substance abuse, with relationships. It's really that whole gamut of symptoms you see when people are put under a lot of duress, and this included exacerbating existing challenges people were having. The impact's not surprisingly particularly acute among younger people.
These exclusive Climate Council pictures show the devastating impact of the recent New South Wales floods, in which hundreds of people lost their homes and possessions. And the survey also revealed that many of the victims lacked the mental health backup they so urgently needed.
One of the important findings of our study is a third of people who've been caught up in extreme weather events tell us that they're not getting enough mental health support. So there's a lot more work to be done. This was even more true for people from rural and regional backgrounds, where it was even harder to get the help they need.
Donna and John agree that after their own experience, climate change victims need to be better served by government and mental health agencies.
Prior to that, neither of us had any sort of mental health issues at all. So it wasn't something we were at all familiar with, but we knew we literally had a black cloud over our heads that would intensify at certain times, where you would feel completely overwhelmed.
It's painful. I'm getting upset. You take it?
Okay.
Sorry.
You okay?
Yeah.
Occasional tears are typical of the sort of emotional turmoil people like John and Donna have had to face over the past 3 years. And as extreme weather events become more frequent, many more victims of climate change are likely to require greater mental support. Roger Maynard, CNA, Sydney.